1945. The deafening roar of war has finally faded, leaving behind a scarred and broken world. Across continents, cities lie in ruins, millions of lives have been extinguished, and the monstrous shadow of the Third Reich has been banished. But the silence is heavy, filled with unspoken questions of accountability. For humanity to heal, for the world to take its first steps out of the darkness, it wasn't enough for the fighting to stop. Justice had to be heard. The Allied victors, the United States, Great Britain, France, and the Soviet Union convened not for another battle, but for a reckoning of a different kind. Their chosen arena was not a field of combat, but a courtroom. In the German city of Nuremberg, once the stage for grandiose Nazi rallies, a new chapter of history was about to be written. Within the walls of its palace of justice, scarred but still standing, an unprecedented legal proceeding began in November 1945. 24 of the most powerful surviving leaders of the Nazi regime were brought to face charges for atrocities so vast they demanded a new legal vocabulary: crimes against peace, war crimes, and, for the first time, crimes against humanity. This was not a secret tribunal. The main courtroom was meticulously renovated, equipped with translation booths for 4 languages and fitted with cameras and microphones. History's first truly international trial would be broadcast for all to see, ensuring the world itself would be the ultimate witness. In the defendant's dock sat the architects of a fallen empire. There was Hermann Göring, the arrogant and defiant head of the Luftwaffe, once Hitler's designated successor. Next to him, Rudolf Hess, Hitler's enigmatic deputy, whose sanity was a constant subject of debate. Also present were Joachim von Ribbentrop, the diplomat who brokered the pacts that ignited the war, and Albert Speer, Hitler's chief architect, the man who mobilized Germany's war machine with chilling efficiency. Each man, once a titan of the Reich, was now reduced to a defendant, stripped of their power and forced to listen as the evidence of their actions was laid bare. The prosecution, led by American Supreme Court Justice Robert H. Jackson, unleashed a mountain of irrefutable proof. They didn't rely on hearsay. They used the Nazis' own meticulous records against them. Thousands of captured documents, signed orders, and official reports detailed the cold, bureaucratic planning of conquest and genocide. But the most damning evidence was the visual record. For the first time, the court and the world was confronted with film reels captured by Allied soldiers upon liberating the concentration camps. The skeletal figures, the mass graves, the haunted eyes of the survivors. This was the undeniable truth of the Holocaust. Witness testimony brought a human voice to the horror as survivors bravely recounted the unspeakable. The defense of just following orders crumbled under the weight of such overwhelming proof. After nearly a year of harrowing testimony and legal arguments, the moment of judgment arrived. On October 1, 1946, the verdicts were delivered. The world held its breath. 12 of the defendants, including Göring, Ribbentrop, and the military leader Wilhelm Keitel, were sentenced to death by hanging. 7 others, including Hess and Speer, received lengthy prison sentences, some for life. 3 were acquitted. The sentences were a stark declaration that leadership carried the ultimate responsibility. In a final act of defiance, Hermann Göring cheated the hangman, taking his own life with a hidden cyanide capsule the night before his scheduled execution. The others met their fate at dawn. The Nuremberg Trials were more than just the final chapter of World War II. They were a profound statement. They established the fundamental principle that individuals, no matter how high their rank or powerful their nation, can be held accountable for atrocities under international law. Nuremberg wasn't about vengeance, it was about creating a precedent. It laid the foundation for the Geneva Conventions, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and the creation of the International Criminal Court. It was a promise from a wounded world to its future, a solemn vow that the cry of never again would be backed by the force of law, ensuring that justice would always have a voice, even in the aftermath of the darkest of wars. Thank you for watching. If you want to explore more pivotal moments in history, don't forget to subscribe.